Hola y bienvenidos de nuevo a una nueva entrega de Vamos a jugar a Dragon Age. Y vamos a continuar donde lo habíamos dejado, que era un lugar bastante interesante, porque estábamos casi a punto de terminarnos el juego. Esperemos que esto esté funcionando correctamente. Sí, parece que sincroniza, así que vamos a darle. Y empezamos un poco antes, porque como esto corre pinta de que puede llegar a ser el final del juego. Ya me empiezo poniendo un café con coronaburgues. Jefe de final, quizás. Final de la campaña principal, todo hay que decirlo. Acabamos la gran asamblea ayer de madrugada. Estamos que creo que si nos vamos al risco rojo, seguramente tendremos cosas por hacer. De todas maneras, tenemos aquí cataplasma. ¡Uy! No quería hacer esto. He tomado una cataplasma sin querer, perdón. Quería hacerme cataplasmas. Venga, vamos a hacer las cataplasmas. Cataplasmas curativas superiores. Y creo que nos vamos a ir al... A ver qué nos hacemos.
Yes.
Indeed. Yes.
Bueno, Manuel, ¿qué tal? Vamos a ver el equipo. Que Wine creo que a lo mejor sí que tiene para ponerse alguna cosilla. Puntas más 5, magia más 2, defensa... pues mira, se va a poner.
Say the word.
Tiene el set completo, por cierto. Armadura de legión, botas de coloso. No, el despertar. Jugaremos despertar. Porque el despertar es que no lo he jugado nunca y no sé... Sé el monstruo, algunos monstruos que hay, pero no sé de qué va. Y me parece que... De hecho, creo que sería de lo poco de Dragon Age que no he jugado. Así que... Es un poco lo que más me tira. Por cierto, ¿cómo vamos de lirio? ¿Has comprado lirio? Lirio. Creo que es probable un poco de lirio de sobras. Raíces mortales de sobras. Lo que nos falta... Y raíces élficas de sobras. Lo que me falta realmente creo que son los destilados. Vamos a comprar destilados, aunque solo sea para tener de sobras para cuando tengamos que hacer lo que sea.
I heard rumors that Redcliffe was once again open for business, but my word, isn't this amazing? Such bustle. The Earl has kindly offered my son and I lodgings in exchange for supplies. I'm happy to help him. And you too, of course. If you have need of my wares, you have but to ask.
Ahora tu mercancía.
I'm sure you'll be...
A ver, gente de concentración. Y ahora sí que ya creo que tenemos más que suficiente. Lo que nos falta son los champiñones de las profundidades, que es lo de siempre. Que nos harían falta. Bueno, noble o enano. Pues yo soy elfo, así que... Vale, pues... Esto creo que ya lo tenemos. Vamos a hacer las últimas conversaciones.
What say you?
¿Te puedo responder algunas
By
preguntas?
all means.
Vamos el camino.
Have you heard much about the Grey Wardens of old?
¿Qué historias había que oír?
It was said that watching the Wardens ride in on their white griffins was enough to rouse a weary heart and put the dance back in the step of an old man. The Grey Wardens were powerful, feared and respected, but they also inspired the common people. I remember a tale that was told to me many years ago.
Sospechaba. Pero bueno, me hubiera ido bien. Recuerda una historia que me contaron hace muchos años. ¿Aparecen grifos en la historia?
Maker's mercy, it's like talking to a child.
Bueno, eres bastante mayor como para ser mi abuela. ¿Pero aparecen grifos o no?
Yes, there are griffins in this story. The blight had ravaged the land for months, and the armies of the great kings had amassed for one last stand. As the sun burst through the clouds that boiled and churned in the dark sky above, it illuminated a vast, seething horde of darkspawn, with the archdemon at its head. And it was then, when courage seemed to fail, and all lost to death and despair, that the Grey Wardens came. They arrived with the beating of wings like mighty war drums and stood before the armies of men.
¿Y entonces qué sucedió?
The Grey Wardens, grim and fearless, marched forth, ever between the men and the encroaching darkspawn. They formed a shield of their own bodies and held that line until the archdemon was dead and the last darkspawn lay trampled in the dirt. And then, demanding neither reward nor recognition for their sacrifice, the Grey Wardens departed. When the clouds finally rolled back and the sun shone full upon the blighted ground, the great kings knew that they had lost no men, and none of their blood had been spilled.
Esta historia no habla de una batalla en concreto, ¿verdad?
You are observant. This is a tale about no battle the Grey Wardens have fought, and yet about them all. They have always defended us from the Darkspawn, taking losses so we do not have to. People may have forgotten over the centuries, but nothing has changed. This knowledge has been blessing and burden to Grey Wardens past, and now it shall be your blessing and your burden.
Vale. Y...
What's on your mind?
Como guardia gris nunca llevaré una vida normal, ¿verdad?
No, you won't.
Eres directa.
Were you expecting an, oh, I'm sure you will. You'll have dozens of babies and die happy and old in your bed. No, you won't. If I had said that, it would have been a lie, and I would have been doing you an injustice. You wonder sometimes, don't you? If your life would be better if you weren't who you are.
No me lo quito de la cabeza.
When I was a young woman in the tower, I came to the realization that the circle would be my life, and I would know no other. Family, love, a simple life. These were things that others took for granted, that I would never have.
¿Y eso te molestó?
It made me very moody. All I could think of was being trapped in that tower with no way out and no end in sight. I started hating my life and myself, and one night I found myself in the tower's chapel. I was seeking refuge, maybe answers.
¿Contaste algo?
I must have looked tearful or made some noise, because the revered mother came out and decided to speak to me. And because I had no one else to talk to, I talked to her. I must have said many silly things, but she told me that the Maker puts us all on our paths for a reason, and fighting our intended course is what causes so much anguish.
¿Y eso te hizo sentir mejor?
I thought the old biddy was full of rubbish. I was 15, maybe 16, and I knew everything. So I left, but I always found my way back to that chapel. And as the years passed, I began to see the truth of her words. We were supposed to be polar opposites, mage and priest. But we weren't. There was much about us that was the same.
Supongo que las sacerdotisas también han de renunciar a muchas cosas.
The revered mother had lived in the chantry all her life, as I had been in the tower for all of mine. She taught me that you can find your family in the people around you, that you can love your work and find fulfillment in duty. And there is joy even in self-sacrifice. If you put others before yourself, then their well-being is yours, and their happiness is your happiness.
No será fácil vivir así.
You can scream and cry and be angry about life as a Grey Warden, or you can accept it and allow yourself to see the good in it. This is your choice.
Bueno, creo que tal y como estamos, creo que ya podemos empezar a dar cositas.
Of course.
Entrar runas al círculo. Las de novicios sin asignar. Venga. Monedas. 50 monedas de plata. Venga. Fabricación. Todos los raíces mortales. Venga. Ah, me marcho.
We will make good use of what you have brought us, Warden.
¿A quién voy? ¿A dónde voy? ¿A dónde debería ir primero? Manuel.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
Estaba pensando en ir a Pico de Soldado. Por algún sitio donde haya un... ¿Templo en ruinas? ¿Qué es esto? Ah, no, pero esto es lo de la montaña, del cubo del dragón. On health. Mira, vamos a los muelles de la Galenhaz. Hola, Steven, ¿qué tal?
Good to see you again.
Que es normal, Steven. Yo le di bastantes horas. De hecho, le estuve dando con la versión de GOG hasta que me di cuenta de que sobrepasaba la cantidad de saves. O sea, tengo puestas que tengo 30 horas en Steam, pero es que en GOG debo tener como unas 150. No, es que al principio no era muy recomendable porque estaba súper roto. Ahora está muy arreglado.
Welcome back to the spoiled princess. How may I serve you today?
De hecho, antes estaba tan roto que...
Of course. What would you like?
Que, vamos, hacía que Cyberpunk pareciera una cosa súper estable. Vale, pues a ver. Herramientas de curación. Herramientas de curación. Estoy buscando. Herramientas de curación. Que aquí no hay una. Aquí no hay nada. Pues aquí no hay mucho que hacer, ¿sabes? Hostia, tengo que hacer regalos. Sí, es que... Ya te digo, yo la primera vez que intenté jugar al Kingmaker, los menús no tenían texto. Sí, es una buena pregunta. De todas maneras, vamos a ir a buscar materiales, así que... Así que vamos a ir buscando materiales.
What can I do for you, Warden?
Sobre tus mercancías, venga.
Certainly.
No hay ningún sitio donde haya champiñones. Como...
Warden,
¿Por tus mercancías? Venga. Esto no va a tener nada. Nah, no tiene nada. Estos son 2 mercaderes. Y poco más. No se nos venden champiñones, pues yo no los he visto, Voy a volver, pero... Además, si no recuerdo mal, tengo una misión por ahí. Que está loco en los caminos y vendía infinitos. Pues voy a mirar.
will you stop eating?
Sí. Vamos a emboscar nuestro propio emboscado.
Make it deserve us. Here comes trouble. Watch out. As you said. It will be done.
Hay uno por ahí que todavía no había matado.
It's done. Yeah, of course. You really wish you'd beaten by an old woman.
Bueno. Bendito. Bueno, los bandidos me parece que están ya muertos.
Yes. Here. On my way. The battle is finished.
Brook el enano loco. Ah, pues nos tocará echar un vistazo por ahí.
As you like.
Hay uno, bueno, DLCs, hay uno que es el de la desaparición de Barhol, que es como una campaña aparte. Luego, hay un par que son de un personaje, de personajes especiales y clases. Que cuanto antes los tengas casi que mejor. Y luego hay uno que es de un dungeon, que es para que vayas... Que además creo que te lo genera pseudo aleatoriamente. Francamente te puedes pasar todo el Kingmaker sin tener un solo DLC. No... Tampoco son indispensables. Ni mucho menos.
I shall.
Bueno, creo que con esto creo que ya... Oh, no, hay un tío ahí.
Trap right ahead. As you like. Is that all you got?
Now we're going to bed.
Let's have at it!
Yes, of course.
Vale, creo que con esto creo que ya lo podemos dejar. Nos hemos pasado esta zona. Hay alguno que sí que es un poco así, ¿eh? Vámonos así. Habría que ver qué versión tienes, porque si es la de... La de Steam... Chapé de Calcharot por parte del Imperio Enano. Esto ya lo teníamos a medias. A ver si me acuerdo dónde está este tío. ¿Está en la encrucijada de Cari? ¿Es posible? No, no lo juego de ediciones, que además esto evidentemente tendría... Pues no, no está aquí. Así que nos podemos ir para atrás. Fake de Hortan. Take y Dukan. Vamos a ver los trincheros de los muertos. No sé si me acuerdo por dónde es. Porque... Me acuerdo de haberme lo encontrado, pero... Aquí buscando champiñones. Buscando champiñones. A ver, puerta sobre la mar. Posible que estuviera aquí. Creo que estaba aquí. En Hortan. Vamos a ver. Vamos a Hortan. Vamos aquí recorriendo la mitad de los caminos de las profundidades. Sí, aquí está, además ahí está marcado. Vale, pues ala, ya nos podemos ir para acá.
Do you miss the cloister much? I heard you were quite happy there.
Yes, I was generally. It was peaceful and it gave me a new start. No one knew who I was, but sometimes I am glad I am away and back on the road. There were bothersome things about the place. Well, bothersome people. Some of the brothers and sisters would talk to you like the chant they spoke was more pleasing to the Maker. Oh, I hated the way they talked down at me. So sometimes I forget the words to the chant, or say them wrong. But so what? The Maker looks into your heart, no? So it doesn't matter what your lips say, as long as your heart is true.
I think you're missing the point, my dear. The chantry believes the chant of light should be spread around the world. You cannot spread it if those that are speaking the chant are speaking it incorrectly.
But I came to the Maker before I had even heard all of the chants. The Maker speaks to people. They just don't know how to listen. It is all a power game, I think. If they convince others they know more, then they must be respected.
Child, it is precisely this kind of talk that made them wary of you. Opinions that differ from your own are always threatening.
Oh. Uy, Wayne, no estoy muy de acuerdo con lo que estás diciendo, pero bueno.
I'll do it.
No sabía ni que el buque este fuera un vendedor. De hecho, ahora que estoy, voy a llenarme de mierda. O sea, perdón, de chatarra. Voy a coger toda la chatarra
Right away.
para venderse. Bueno, creo que la vamos a necesitar. Uy, por aquí no es. Aquí está Ruth, venga.
Good friend is back. A good friend won't make Ruck remember the light. How can Ruck help the friend?
¿Tienes algo para intercambiar?
For you, yes, Ruck has many things. He can give them, and you don't even have to give him shiny coins. No. But you can if you want.
Sí. Oh, yeah, sí, sí. Sí. Vale, campeones de las profundidades. Ya estamos en ¿cómo tenemos que estar? Vale, pues ahora, ¿qué habíais dicho? Una ruina. Una de hierro frío de gran maestro. 2.25. Oh. 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 2.25. Hay para esto hay que conseguir 27 de oro. Va a ser que no tengo tanto dinero. Bueno, sí. Lo que pasa es que, bueno, la ruina es un poco más cara de lo que yo esperaba. Pero tampoco es nada raro. Teniendo en cuenta que nos hemos arruinado a base de componentes. Que necesitaba esto. Ah, sí, hola, ¿qué me dices? Bugfish de un compañero, hostia. Pues gracias por la advertencia, ¿eh? Vale, pues nos vamos sin comprar la runa, porque tampoco... Espérate, o sí. Vamos a ver qué tenemos para venderle.
Good friend is back. A good friend won't make Ruck remember.
Vamos a ver qué tenemos para que podamos venderle. Hoja imperial. Y un diamante. Oh. No, que ya no, creo que ya nos podemos ir. De todas maneras, vamos a regalar unas cuantas cosas. La línea está a tope. Estás a tope, pero ¿sabes qué? A ti es a quien más le van estas cosas de Andraste.
Oh, how dear of you. Thank you so much.
Winne, te voy a dar un hueso de ternera. Arcadia creo que está a tope. Arcadia está a tope. Así que Win, toma, el hueso de ternera es para ti.
Most kind.
Y le ha gustado, le ha dado un +3. Lo debe meter en alguna sopa o algo. ¡Hala! La señora se conforma con cualquier cosa. Vamos a ver. ¿Nos podemos ir de aquí? No. Tenemos que irnos por algo. Vale, pues ahora sí. Nos vamos a ir de aquí. Ya estamos bastante equipados. Así que vamos a intentar a ver si podemos ganarnos de aquí rápidamente. Que es relativamente difícil. Oh, esto es un poco laberíntico. No sé si no sería más rápido ir hasta el otro lado. Hola, Calor. ¿Qué tal? Creo que iremos más rápido si vamos al otro lado. Sinceramente.
Of course.
Uy, me está haciendo un guardar. Vale, creo que ya nos podemos ir a Zamar. Vale, perfecto. Ahora sí. Vamos a Zamar. Que me está petando el juego. Ah, no. Un momento me ha asustado, Está empezando a ir como si estuviera a punto de petar el juego. Teóricamente, por cierto, tenemos por aquí esto, Filda, la esperanza de una madre. Oh. ¿No le había entregado esto? Hola.
Ancestors cherish my boy's spirit.
Bueno, yo creo que con esto, que ya hemos hecho acopio de materiales, creo que ya podríamos tirar directamente a...
Sometimes so hard to believe that you have been through so much at such a young age.
I think I look younger than I am.
Yes, that is possible. When I was your age, I was just about ready to take on my first apprentice. In hindsight, perhaps I should have waited a few more years. I was arrogant, my confidence bolstered by my youth.
It is so hard to imagine seeing you now.
Oh, I've had some 2 decades or so to grow mellow. Believe me, back then I was quite prickly.
So you are like a fine wine, yes? Losing the raw edges over time.
I suppose there is some truth to that analogy, but dear Maker, I do hate being compared to wine. Or cheese. Especially cheese.
Bread. Please, sir. Just a bit of bread.
Vamos a por este mercader, que era un poco especial.
I've told you what I know. If you'll excuse me, I've had quite enough stress over this.
Llevar tus mercancías.
Oh, certainly.
La regente más gran maestro. El año con descantos tenebrosos más 10. Vale, pues creo que ya como no podemos tener mucho más, ya nos podemos ir. Y vamos a entregar cositas. Tralará. Zebran. 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 Ta. Vamos a ver. Zebran. Lingote de oro mediano.
You have excellent taste.
Y ahora vamos a hablar con él. A ver si nos cuenta algo.
What say you?
¿Te puedo hacer unas preguntas?
By all means.
Vamos al camino.
What say you?
¿Quiero hablar de
Again?
código personal?
I'm game.
Me da igual. Hola. Bueno, Manuel. Pasa buena noche.
If there's anything I can do for you, please tell me.
¿Has oído algún rumor?
Of all the strange news, everyone is talking about some brother in Denerim claiming that the urn of sacred ashes has been found. Actually found. I understand the Chantry is a bit skeptical and probably won't get a chance to deal with the brother's claim until after the war is ended. But it's incredible even so, don't you think? That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
Venga, debo irme.
Of course. Good fortune to you and yours.
Goodbye.
What's on your mind?
Me gustaría preguntarte algo. ¿Te arrepientes de algo?
I try not to dwell too much on the mistakes of my past, of which there are many. I would go quite mad if I did that. But I do have one regret. The greatest misstep of my life, made even more grave because it had dire consequences for someone else.
¿Qué pasó? Cuéntame, puede que te haga sentir mejor.
Years ago, I was assigned as mentor to a lad, Anarin. He was my first apprentice. Anarin was an elf, raised in one of the elven alienages, and he was very mistrustful of humans, especially humans in authority.
Imagino que eso podría representar un problema.
What Anarin needed was time. Time to get used to his new home, time to emerge from his shell, so we could build a rapport. I gave him no such time. I was young and arrogant. He is a mage, I thought. He needs to grow up and act like one. I expected too much from him too quickly. I gave no consideration to his origin or his feelings, and he retreated further from me. All I could think of was how stubborn he was, how he was throwing away all his talent and his potential just to be difficult.
Me parece muy propio de ti.
Oh, age and wisdom have mellowed me. I was quite different back then. Much more unforgiving. You cannot plant crops in the cold, wintry ground. You cannot teach a student who is closed off and unresponsive. Patience is what is needed, and I learned that too late to help him.
¿Qué le pasó a Neirin?
Anarin ran away from the circle one night. I had berated him over some trivial, ridiculous matter that I no longer remember. I drove him away because of something utterly unimportant. He was a child, 14 at the time of his leaving. They had his phylactery, and they hunted him down.
¿Por qué no se limitaron a doblegar la torre?
They called him Maleficar, a mage who practices forbidden magic, deserving of death. He was a child, misunderstood and lost. I begged the Templars to tell me if he suffered, if they gave him a quick death. I got no answers from them. I was his mentor, and they wouldn't even tell me what became of him.
Oh. Qué cruel por su parte.
I should have known better. I had the best mentors. They were kind, compassionate. Why didn't I learn from them? I failed Anarin. All I had to do was listen to him. He would try to talk to me, and I would tell him to concentrate on his spells. He talked about the alienage sometimes, and the Dalish. He always talked about looking for the Dalish elves.
Igual sí que los encontró.
The Templars are well-trained and thorough. That he still lives, it would be a vain hope. The apprentices that came after Anarin benefited greatly from the lessons I learned from him. In a sense, he was my teacher, and I his student.
Entonces puede que su sacrificio valiera la pena.
And there it is. My story, my one greatest regret.
Oh, los remordimientos de Wayne. Oh. Le da a Wayne a encontrar la paz. Wayne te habla de su primer pupilo, un elfo llamado Anirim. Fue tan severa con él que acabó abandonando el círculo. Anirim habla con frecuencia de los elfos dalisanos y soñaba con encontrarlos. Sin embargo, Wayne cree que no lo logró y que lo mataron los templarios. Vale, pues creo que con esto, que creo que era lo que nos faltaba por activar, vamos a coger aquí a Wayne, a Zebra y por último a Sten. Y nos vamos a ir a los alrededores del bosque de Brecilia. Estamos pasando mucho de ir hacia el final del juego. Sé que había dicho que íbamos a hacer el final del juego, pero es que no me acordaba de que había algo que nos había pasado.
You know, Wynne, I have a friend back in Antiva who would be very excited to meet you.
I'm sorry?
Salvail prefers women with experience and maturity. He says they have more substance, are more robust and flavorful.
Does he now?
Indeed. No need to deny it. Zevran knows a fine bird when he sees one.
I am not a bird.
There is no reason to deny yourself the pleasure of male companionship, after all, yes? You might balk now, but I assure you, Salvail is a gentleman of means and quite handsome.
I am going to walk away now, calmly, coolly. This is to save you the pain of having your brain forcibly removed through your ears.
This must be a Ferelden thing, I swear.
No, la mitra.
I understand we will be joining you in battle as soon as the hunters have recovered. I look forward to it.
Oh. ¿Quién es este? Hola, Sarel.
You did it, outsider. You saved us from the ravages of the curse after all.
May the creators bless you, truly.
But Zathrian is lost to us, after all these centuries. He died heroically, I hope.
Sí, creo que la tuvo.
I would like a happy ending to his tale. He will be a role model for many Dalish children to come. Now, Keeper Lanaya prepares for us to enter into war alongside the humans. I never thought I'd live to see the day.
I, for one, look forward to fighting against these darkspawn creatures.
Do you now? Let's hope you return and tell us all about them. As for you, outsider, I expect I'll be telling tales about the Grey Warden one day, hmm?
Vamos a ver, Y cosas de 2 manos. Romper armaduras, venga. Esto es pasivo. Oh. Las virtudes de las relaciones con mujeres mayores. Hey. Chica elfa. A ver si podemos encontrar a ese señor. Vamos a... Lana. Vamos a hablar con Lana ya.
Let us pray to the creators, Lethaline. All-Father, may you forgive our part in this tragedy. But our sons and daughters have died.
Andera Natishan, Grey Warden. Join us at the fire if you like, but haven't you got a war to get to?
¿Has oído alguna hablar Bien. ¿Has oído alguna vez hablar de un elfo llamado Aneirin?
I appreciate you trying to find him, but what are the chances?
Aneirin the healer?
You know Aneirin?
He lives? No, it can't be him. Perhaps it is a common elven name.
No, I know of only one Aneirin.
Y lo hemos encontrado.
Ah, it makes sense. Aneirin said that he was from the human cities. You are old friends, then?
¿Dónde se encuentra? ¿Está en el campamento?
If you seek Aneirin, you must venture into the forest. He prefers to be amidst the trees and the animals.
Thank you all so much.
¿Qué puedes contarme? Ok, he de irme.
Dareth Shirall.
Falandine, friend of the dead. May you guide our sons and daughters.
Pues nos tenemos que ir al bosque. Vamos al bosque de Brecilia. Hacía tiempo que no estábamos aquí. Rápida antigua. Pues por este lado del bosque parece que no está. Pero bueno, este bosque lo atravesamos rápido. Ya nos lo conocemos bastante. Pues no sé si anda por aquí, la verdad. Está en el bosque, pero a saber en qué parte del bosque. Hola, caras, ¿qué tal? Vamos aquí haciendo una búsqueda infructuosa. A ver. ¿Puede ser el in the wine? Quizás debería aprovechar un encuentro entre los dos. A ver si lo podemos encontrar. Estamos buscando a un mago llamado Eirin. Que teóricamente está en el bosque de Brecilia. Mira, aquí está. Cosas.
Friends, turn back, please. These woods are a danger to those who do not know the paths.
Anarin?
Wait, I remember your face. But younger, more impulsive, stern. Wynne?
I thought they had killed you.
They very nearly did. The Templars found me while I was searching for the Dalish. They ran me through and left me for dead.
I brought this on you. Oh, I was a dreadful mentor, harsh and impatient. I am sorry for the way I treated you.
I've put that behind me, and you should too. I didn't fit in with the Templars in your chantry. My path lay elsewhere.
Irving is a reasonable man. He will find some way for you to return. The Circle needs new blood. It needs to change.
I have fond memories of Irving. He was always kind to me. I will consider your proposal, and perhaps I will speak with Irving. However, I promise nothing. Perhaps the mage you seek is right in front of you. The Grey Warden is a mage, no? The Blight will not last forever. Why not look to her to shape the new Circle? It is something both of you should think about.
Podríamos quedarnos más si quisieras, Wayne.
No, we've spent enough time on my personal affairs. It is time for us to move on.
Look at this. It's the hardened sap of a tree native to this forest. It's been something of a lucky charm for me, and now I want you to have it.
Very well. I'm grateful. May your gods smile on you, Anarin.
And on you.
Ok, voluntad moderada. Perfecto. Y tenemos un objeto nuevo. Esto creo que es un amuleto. Regalo de Nirim. Ausencia de la electricidad. Vale, pues muy bien. Problemas de agua otra vez. ¿What? ¿De qué estáis hablando? De problemas de agua. Y ahora sí, ya lo tenemos todo hecho. Así que nos podemos ir, largar. Largarnos con viento fresco. Se inundaron los servidores 2 veces. Uf, madre mía. Con tanto Astarion metido dentro. Uf. Se les inundaron los servidores 2 veces.
You must know that murder is wrong, I assume.
I'm sorry, are you speaking to me?
That is why you wish to leave your crows. A crisis of conscience.
Yes, that is exactly it.
Joke if you wish, but I have the feeling that deep down you regret the life you have lived.
It's true. I regret it all.
Must you be such a child? Are you incapable of a single serious conversation?
I know. I'm terrible and it makes me sad. May I rest my head in your bosom? I wish to cry.
You can cry well away from my bosom, I'm certain.
Did I tell you I was an orphan? I never knew my mother.
Egad, I give up.
Oh, en otra oficina se fue la luz durante un día. Joder, pues sí. Vale, pues vamos al campamento por última vez. A ver lo que tarda esto en cargar.
Thank you so much.
De nada.
You led me to an errand. You persisted, even though I was sure all you were going to find was a dead end.
Me alegro poder haber sido de ayuda.
I will never be able to repay you for what you've done for me. Finding an errand allowed me to bring that chapter of my life to a close. I feel free. A great weight has been lifted off my heart. This moment, it feels like the moment before the sunrise, when all the world is still, holding its breath, waiting for first light. I can stop thinking about my past and look forward to the future. Thank you, my friend. You will always have my gratitude. Have you given any thought to what Anarin said? There is wisdom in his words. You are a mage, and you could be what the Circle needs most.
También soy una guardia gris.
But you never really left the Circle like Anarin did. Your life as a Grey Warden has given you a chance to venture abroad, farther than many mages have been. You've seen the world, dealt with kings and lords, Templars and apostates. You've seen the good and bad of all of these. You could bring these experiences back to the Circle, improve it with what you know. It will take time, but it can be done, slowly.
Lo pensaré.
I will not live to see the Circle rebuilt and made stronger and more glorious. This will be a dream I take to my grave. It doesn't have to be a dream for you. What's on your mind?
Quería preguntarte algo sobre el círculo.
I will answer to the best of my ability.
¿Cómo te convertiste en maga?
People don't become mages. They are born mages. The talent just surfaces later. But you are asking how I ended up at the Circle. I was brought there by the Templars, just like many of the other apprentices. I don't remember very much. I was very young then.
¿Y qué de tu familia?
I didn't have a family. I never knew my real parents. My earliest memory was of hiding in a hayloft on a farm, trying to keep warm. I was found, and the farmer's wife was kind enough not to send me away. But they had children of their own, and I was never made to feel welcome. The eldest son was the worst. He was always calling me a stray, and throwing anything he could get his hands on at me. And I don't know how it happened, but one day, he just found his hair on fire. Fortunately, there was a large trough nearby. I had singed his hair and eyebrows, but injured little other than his pride. Who knows what they would have done to me had he been more seriously hurt. Thankfully, all I had to endure was a few nights locked in a cold barn with a bowl of water and a crust of bread. The Templars arrived several mornings later.
¿Se portaron mal los templarios contigo?
One of them ignored me, but the other was kind to me. He gave me sweets and even sat me on his shoulders once when I wanted to look over a high wall that ran along the road. I'll never forget the moment the Templars led me into the entrance hall of the tower. I had never seen anything so grand in my life. I stopped being afraid then. I knew I was home.
Yo me sentí igual cuando llegué a la torre.
We were the lucky ones. I learned very quickly that for every apprentice in the tower, there was probably one who never even lived to see the Templars come. No child, not even a mage child, is a match for an angry mob trying to place blame for a failed crop, a hard winter, a baby born dead.
Supongo que fui afortunada.
Well, that's about all there is to my tale. That's how I came to the Circle.
Hace mucho que me fui de la torre.
It has been almost a year, hasn't it? Do you miss the tower at all?
Sí, fue un lugar durante muchos años.
You can take a mage out of the Circle, but you can't take the Circle out of the mage. Or so Irving used to say. He was joking, but there is some truth to the statement. A mage never really leaves the Circle, and for the rest of your life you will be seen as a Circle mage.
Pero ahora soy una guardia
But
gris.
you will always be a mage, especially in the eyes of others. You represent both mages and Grey Wardens, and your actions may reflect well or badly on both groups. Remember that.
Te intentaré, gracias por el consejo.
Oh, but listen to me go on. You start a conversation, and I just run away with it, don't I?
Te agradezco que hayas encontrado tiempo para aconsejarme.
I've been mentoring apprentices for so long, it's become something I do unconsciously. I don't know if I could stop even if I wanted to.
Se cebran. Creo que es lo que último.
What say you?
Da igual.
I'm wondering something. I'd like to know your thoughts about some of our traveling companions. Do you mind if I ask?
¿Por qué quieres saber?
I've got this nefarious plan to go around to each of them and secretly tell them all the nasty things you said. That way they'll mutiny and I shall become the group leader.
No sé si te confiaría el liderazgo ni para hacer la comida.
Hey, that's a pretty good policy. Where exactly is lunch anyway? Seriously though, I'm only curious. I've had enough time to form my own opinions, and I just want to see if yours are any different.
Vale, ¿sobre qué quieres preguntar?
How about Ogren? You must have an opinion on the smell, at the very least.
Es demasiado.
Well, let's just say that I'm not so surprised he's not married any longer. How he lifts his sword is a bit of a mystery. Though I suppose the point is that he does lift it. And so long as we can point him in the right direction, he charges too. He has gusto, I'll give him that. Zevran, the elf. You can't trust him, can you? Do you believe his so-called vow?
Quizás, ya veremos.
That's a lot to put on a maybe, isn't it? He's an assassin. The crows aren't known for giving up. Maybe he's just biding his time.
No creo que lo vuelva a intentar.
That's very trusting of you. I guess you must have your reasons. What about Sten? The way he looks at me with those eyes. Creepy. And he's so quiet for someone so big.
Está entregado, eso se lo concedo.
Yet he doesn't seem quite so bad as the Chantry tells us. According to them, his philosophy is vile and evil. Yet he seems so reasonable. And yet, he killed all those people. He doesn't even deny it. Doesn't that bother you?
Sí, me inquieta un poco.
Yet he seems otherwise honorable and even wise. I don't get it. What about Liliana? Is she crazy? Or do you really believe in her vision?
Yo creo que ella cree en su visión.
That's one way to put it. I don't know what to make of her. If you look at her when she doesn't see you, she just looks so sad. I almost feel guilty taking her away from her life.
Ella lo ha querido así.
Yes, I know. Still, I feel badly for her. Morrigan, do you trust her? Think about it. Maybe Flemeth sent her with us for some other reason than she said.
¿Qué motivo puede tener para traicionaros?
Hello? Have you met her? I think she'd need a reason not to betray us.
Creo que le somos útiles.
Well, there is that. Enough. I think my curiosity is sated. Let's get back to it, shall we?
Vale, Sten.
You called.
Tengo una pregunta.
I am hardly surprised.
¿Pero te parece muy extraño?
To put it lightly, no one has a place here. Your farmers wish to be very well.
Creo que eso ya lo habíamos hablado con él. Así que ya está. Morrigan.
What comes, my friend? So, full of questions, are you?
Me da escalofríos Morrigan cada vez que... Más que nada porque es... Desde que está en plan rollo... ¡Hola, amiga mía! Me gustaba más cuando eras una bordes. Vale, creo que ya a estas alturas nos podemos ir. Oh, vamos a mirar. ¿Qué tenemos aquí? Ogren. Creo que tiene guanteletes del coloso. Creo que tengo por aquí el yelmo del coloso. Pero es 15 constitución más 2. Mira, este sí. El yelmo del coloso. $21,88. Joder. Si aquí cogemos a Lister, que ya tiene la de la legión. Le ponemos la coraza del coloso. Las botas del coloso. Me faltaría los guanteles del coloso, que creo que los tiene Ogren. Si le damos todo el set. ¿Cuánto se ponen? 87 de armadura. 27. La modificación por conjunto completo. Las resistencias de Alistair. Creo que quería echar un vistazo. A ver. Yo no tengo resistencias. Aunque tengo resistencia al fuego. Resistencia mental, resistencia física. Oh. Sí. Yo creo que ya está bien. Nos podríamos ir para allá.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
Vamos al pueblo de Risco Rojo ya. Y ya nos ponemos en recta final. Vamos enfilando. Oh. Oh. Algo ha pasado por aquí. Guerra. Ha habido guerra por aquí. Sobreviviente de Risco Rojo. ¡Oh, Dios mío! Nos han atacado.
It's you, the Grey Warden. Andraste's mercy that you got here when you did. I thought for sure these monsters were going to get me.
¿Qué ha pasado? ¿Dónde está todo el mundo?
They all fled to the castle this morning, before the Darkspawn arrived. I thought I could make it to my home and back before they got here, but it took me too long to get down here. What a relief you arrived.
Deberías ponerte salvo. ¿Hay más agentes tenebrosos por el castillo?
By now, yes. They'd have reached the castle walls. I'm going to get out of here before any more of those things arrive. Thank you again.
Entonces con él... ¿Con qué tecla es? ¿Cuál es la tecla esta que...?